I met 3 alien women in a bar. Now they all want to be my wives. The cosmic crossroads. The nebula's edge hummed with conversations in a dozen languages, its amber lights casting everything in warm, honeyed tones. Marcus Chen nursed his whiskey at the bar's corner, watching starships dock through the panoramic viewport. After 3 months hauling titanium through dead space, he craved nothing more than solid ground and genuine gravity. "You're drinking Earth whiskey," a melodious voice observed. "How wonderfully nostalgic." Marcus turned to find striking violet eyes studying him. The woman's skin bore delicate silver markings that seemed to shift like living tattoos, and her dark hair fell in waves past her shoulders. She moved with a grace that suggested she'd grown up in lower gravity, each gesture deliberate and flowing. "Zara Thelani," she introduced herself, sliding onto the adjacent bar stool without invitation. "Archaeological survey team, currently between expeditions. And you're the pilot of that modified Hercules-class freighter that just docked. How did you? Your flight suit bears microscratches consistent with Hercules cockpit panels, and you have that particular shoulder tension pilots develop from their control configuration." Her smile revealed perfect teeth. "I study details for a living." Marcus found himself leaning closer, drawn by more than her deductive skills. Marcus Chen. And yes, guilty as charged on the freighter. "Chen," she repeated, her accent giving his name an exotic lilt. "Old Earth. Chinese origin. You're far from home." "Everywhere's home when you live in the void," he replied, signaling the bartender for another round. "What brings an archaeologist to a station bar?" Zara's fingers traced the rim of her glass, and Marcus noticed how her markings seemed to pulse faintly with her heartbeat. Sometimes the most interesting artifacts aren't buried in ancient ruins. Sometimes they're sitting right in front of you, drinking whiskey and looking wonderfully out of place. The compliment was forward, but her delivery was so naturally confident that Marcus felt heat rise to his face. "I'm hardly artifact material." "Oh, I disagree." She shifted closer, her knee brushing his. "Earth humans are increasingly rare out here. Your world's old traditions, your untainted genetics, your stories, you're more valuable than you realize." Her proximity was intoxicating, her perfume unlike anything terrestrial, something between jasmine and ozone. Marcus found himself studying the way her markings curved along her neck, disappearing beneath her collar. "See something interesting?" she asked, catching his gaze. "Several things," he admitted. "The second constellation." "Zara, you absolute predator," a warm laugh interrupted. "Already claiming the interesting newcomer." Marcus looked up to see another woman approaching, her appearance making him momentarily forget to breathe. Where Zara was all midnight elegance, this newcomer seemed made of sunshine. Her skin held a subtle golden sheen, and her hair, impossibly, seemed to emit its own soft light, like fiber-optic strands woven into platinum waves. "Lionel," Zara sighed with fond exasperation. "I should have known you'd appear. When have I ever missed an opportunity?" Lionel's amber eyes fixed on Marcus with an intensity that made his pulse quicken. Lionel Soloris, certified xenobiologist and healer. Also, Zara's occasional expedition partner when she needs someone to keep her from getting killed by ancient security systems. She claimed the bar stool on Marcus's other side, effectively bracketing him between them. Her presence radiated warmth, literally. The temperature seemed to rise a few degrees. "Marcus was just telling me about Earth," Zara said, a subtle edge of competition in her voice. "No, actually, you were doing most of the talking," Marcus corrected, finding his confidence. "Something about artifacts and genetics." Lionel laughed, the sound like wind chimes. "That's our Zara. Always analyzing. Sometimes you need to just feel things." Her hand settled on his forearm, and warmth spread from her touch. "Tell me, Marcus, what do you feel right now?" "Like I've become remarkably popular very suddenly," he said honestly. Perceptive," Lionel purred. "I like honesty in a man. It's refreshing. Do you know how rare it is to find someone who doesn't try to impress with false bravado?" "He doesn't need false anything," Zara interjected, her violet eyes flashing. Marcus runs solo cargo hauls through pirate territory. The real thing is impressive enough. Pirates. Lionel's fingers traced small circles on his arm. A warrior and a philosopher. How delicious. Marcus took a long drink, trying to process the surreal situation. Two remarkable women, both absolutely stunning in completely different ways, seemed to be competing for his attention. I'm just a pilot trying to make a living. Just a pilot who reads Marcus Aurelius, Zara noted, gesturing to the worn book tucked in his jacket pocket. And who has calluses from martial arts, not just ship controls, Lionel added, her thumb finding the telltale ridges on his palm. They were both studying him like he was something precious. The third celestial. Three's a sacred number, you know. The new voice carried authority and amusement in equal measure. Marcus turned to see a woman with skin like polished emerald and eyes of molten copper. Unlike the elegant Zara or the radiant Lionel, this one wore practical combat gear that couldn't hide her athletic curves. Geometric scarring on her arms looked deliberate, ceremonial. Kessa, both Zara and Lionel said simultaneously, though their tones suggested very different feelings about her arrival. Ladies, Kessa acknowledged with a predatory smile before focusing on Marcus. Kessa Vex Ha. I run security for merchant vessels, and occasionally, I collect beautiful things. Her gaze was absolutely unsubtle in its appreciation. You must be the Earth pilot everyone's whispering about. Everyone? Marcus asked. 3 Earth humans have passed through this station in the last solar year, Kessa explained, claiming a standing position that somehow dominated the space. You're the first unattached one. How do you know I'm? No wedding band, no pheromone markers from regular intimacy, and you've been returning our interest instead of deflecting. She signaled the bartender. 4 glasses of Altarian wine. The real stuff. That's expensive, Lionel protested. Worth it for this conversation, Kessa replied as crystalline glasses appeared, filled with liquid that shifted between blue and purple. Have you heard of trial marriages, Marcus? The question made Zara stiffen and Lionel's glow intensify. Marcus accepted the wine. Its taste like liquid starlight. Can't say I have. On my world, our world, actually, we're all from the trinary system. It's traditional, Kessa explained, moving closer. The 3 women now formed a triangle with him at the center. When multiple potential partners find the same person compatible, they court together. The person chooses after truly knowing all options. Or, Zara added quietly, chooses all of them. Marcus nearly choked on his wine. All. Polyamory is common in the trinary system, Lionel explained, her hand finding his again. Resources were scarce during colonization. Multiple partners meant shared support, deeper connections, stronger family units. We're not proposing anything immediate, Kessa clarified, though her smile suggested otherwise. But we are proposing. Consider tonight an interview. For marriage. Marcus's voice cracked slightly. For possibility, Zara corrected, her fingers brushing his other hand. We're all successful, independent women. We don't need a partner. But wanting. Her markings pulsed brighter. That's different. Midnight revelations. The station's viewports had shifted to night cycle, displaying a projection of stars that reminded Marcus of Earth's sky. They'd moved to a private booth, the 4 of them sharing stories and another bottle of that impossible wine. My parents died in the colony plague, Lionel was saying, her usual brightness dimmed. I became a healer because I never wanted to feel that helpless again. Her head rested against Marcus's shoulder, natural as breathing. But healing bodies is easier than healing loneliness. Zara traced patterns on the table, her markings dimming with memory. I search ancient ruins for answers about who we are, where we came from. But sometimes I think I'm really searching for home. She looked at Marcus. You carry your home with you. That rootedness, it's attractive. I fought in 3 wars, Kessa added, her warrior's posture relaxing. Won medals, earned scars, built a reputation. But I've never had someone to fight for. Just causes and credits. Her copper eyes met his. I want something more personal to protect. Marcus felt the weight of their confessions, their vulnerabilities offered like gifts. You barely know me. We know enough, Zara said. You listened without trying to fix us. You didn't immediately accept or reject our proposal. You're considering us as people, not just opportunities. Plus, Lina added with returning warmth, the way you look at each of us, you see us. Really see us. How could I not? Marcus admitted. You're all remarkable. Kessa leaned forward. In our culture, there's a bonding ceremony called the Sterling Confluence. 3 stars aligning around a single point of gravity. It's considered the most stable configuration in nature. You're suggesting we're those 3 stars? Marcus asked. I'm suggesting we could be, Kessa replied. If you're the gravity. The booth fell silent except for the distant hum of the station. Marcus felt Lina's warmth, saw Zara's markings pulse with her heartbeat, watched Kessa's fingers tap a nervous rhythm. These weren't just beautiful women offering him attention, they were complete people offering him their lives. Tell me about Earth, Zara said softly. What did you leave behind? Nothing, Marcus realized as he said it. No family left. Few friends. Just emptiness pretending to be freedom. And what would you want? Lina asked. If you could have anything. Marcus considered, looking at each of them. Connection. Purpose. People who choose each other deliberately, not by default. That's what we're offering, Kessa said simply. Dawn's promise. The station's artificial dawn painted the viewing deck in rose gold. Marcus stood at the railing, watching ships depart, when he sensed them approaching. They moved differently now, not as competitors but as a unit, though still maintaining their unique energies. We have a confession, Zara began, her markings shifting to a pattern he hadn't seen before, almost apologetic. The trial marriage proposition, Lina continued. It's real, but we may have accelerated the timeline. Significantly, Kessa added with a rueful smile. Normally, there's a courtship period of months, sometimes years. But you're leaving tomorrow, Zara said. Your cargo contract takes you to the outer rim. We might never cross paths again. Marcus turned to face them fully. So this was about seizing the moment. It was about recognizing something rare, Lina corrected. Do you know the odds of 3 women from our system being simultaneously drawn to the same person? It's considered a cosmic sign. Or we're all slightly drunk on expensive wine, Kessa offered, though her expression remained serious. I don't think it's the wine, Marcus said quietly. He'd spent the sleepless night thinking, feeling the shape of the choice before him. You're offering me a life I never imagined. But what are you really asking? The 3 women exchanged glances, some silent communication passing between them. Come with us, Zara said finally. We have a ship, jointly owned. We take research contracts, exploration missions, security details. We're successful alone, but together, we could be extraordinary. And us? Marcus asked, gesturing to encompass all of them. Would unfold naturally, Lina said. No pressure, no expectations beyond partnership and possibility. Some trial marriages become permanent. Others become deep friendships. All we're asking is for you to try. Kessa stepped forward, offering a data pad. This is our contract with the Meridian Institute. A year-long exploration of the Cassiopeia depths. Archaeological sites, medical research on new colonies, security for the expedition. We need a pilot. You need more than that, Marcus said, reading between the lines. Yes, they said in unison, then laughed at the synchronization. Marcus looked at the contract, at the 3 remarkable women who disrupted his solitary existence in the span of a single night. His cargo run would earn him credits but nothing else. This. My ship. Sell it, Kessa suggested. Or keep it berthed. Your choice. And if it doesn't work? If we don't fit? Then we part as friends richer for the experience, Zara said. But Marcus, what if it does work? He thought of his empty quarters, his solitary meals, the vast silence between stars. Then he looked at them, Zara with her mysterious markings and brilliant mind, Lionel with her healing warmth and infectious joy, Kessa with her fierce protection and surprising vulnerability. "When do we leave?" he asked. Their smiles could have powered the station. The end.